Hello, BookTube. I have another little mail haul for you, but first a couple of things. First, I wanted to thank you all for the very nice things you've been writing about the fact that I'm making videos again. The comments you've been leaving have meant everything to me. Um, I really appreciate it. I read them and it gives me uh, the lift to do more. And the second thing is I want to show you the answer to a question that lots and lots of you have been asking me. Let's see if we can do this without upsetting the world. That is the answer to the question that a lot of you have been asking me. My other dog is just fine. She spent a few days just staring into space, same as I did, but she's just fine. She's a sweet girl. Uh, so now that we've covered that, let's do the mail and see what we encounter. Starting with this thing here. Oh, it's big. Big is good. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, this is not something I knew about. Uh, oh my. Okay, this is fantastic. This is Istanbul by Bettany Hughes, A Tale of Three Cities. Uh, right, because it's Byzantium, it's Constantinople, and it's Istanbul, and it's by Bettany Hughes, whose book The Hemlock Cup about Socrates in ancient Athens is well worth your time to find at your local library or order from your local bookstore. She's an amazingly good writer. And this is an enormous history of Istanbul. From the folks at Da Capo Press, I really have to pay closer attention to their website if I'm missing things like this. Oh, that's fantastic. That's just incredible. Okay. All right. Well, we're off. We're off to a roaring start. That's that. Oh, did I mention when this comes out? This comes out in September. Uh, I will beg and plead to review it for the Christian Science Monitor, or who knows, maybe even for the National in Abu Dhabi. They'd be interested in such a thing. Those of you who are who are new to the channel, all this talk about reviewing is results from the fact that that's what I do for a living. I'm a professional book reviewer, and the reason that I mention lots and lots of places is because I am an Old Bailey hack for hire. So I go wherever I'm accepted. But I also have a venue of my own. There's an online literary journal called Open Letters Monthly, which I helped to found, and where I'm the managing editor. And that's germane for two reasons. One, my colleagues at Open Letters have very nicely given me a spot at Open Letters called Open Letters Weekly, where they let me review new releases at a far more vigorous clip than once a month. I have I have let Open Letters Weekly fall into abeyance in the last 2 weeks, but it's going to be starting up again, and then I will be reviewing everything. And the nice thing about having a venue like Open Letters Monthly, for I'm currently doing a year with the tutors, so every month my big monthly review every month is something new about the tutors. But the nice thing about having a side venue like Open Letters Weekly, which it gets good traffic, it's well respected, is that unlike everywhere else in the world, even my beloved Christian Science Monitor, I can pick what I want to review there and the length I want to review it at, which is a rare treat for an indefatigable bookworm such as myself. And the other part of Open Letters Monthly is something that I've mentioned on this channel before. In fact, I mentioned it just the other day, which is that we're always looking for new reviewers. So if there's a new book, including one of these books, if there's a new book that you feel like you'd really like to try your hand at reviewing, let me know in the comments field, and we'll take it from there. But anyway, here's the next one. Is It's by David Friend, and it's called The Naughty 90s. The Triumph of the American Libido. Uh, and this is due in September, and I don't know, call me crazy, but I'm going to guess this is the 1990s that the author is talking about, not the extremely libidinous 1890s. I'm sure that the author is a millennial who has no idea that the 1890s even existed. Were there people then, or wasn't it all just dinosaurs? But let's see. I could be wrong. Maybe he's yeah. Maybe he's not young. Uh, David Friend is a Vanity Fair editor, curator. He curates Vanity Fair. Does he really? Okay. An Emmy-winning documentary producer. He is the author of Watching the World Change: The Stories Behind the Images of 9/11. And this is indeed a sexual history of the decade when baby boomers took over Washington, Hollywood, and Madison Avenue. Oh my. Okay. So this is going to be mighty congratulatory, but could still be a lot of fun. It seems like it's being pitched to be a lot of fun. So the naughty 90s. All right, so that's two big books so far. We've only got 4 packages this time around, and the other 2 don't look that big. So it's unlikely to be big, sweeping narrative histories. Let's see what we have instead. Oh, very good. Okay, this is a novel. I don't remember off the top of my head if it's a debut novel. It's by Elizabeth Day, and it's called The Party. And I have heard lots and lots of good things about it. Let's see, who's Elizabeth Day when she's at home? She grew up in Northern Ireland. She's an award-winning journalist and has written extensively for The Telegraph, The Times, The Guardian. So this could be her first book. Otherwise, you'd think they'd have mentioned it. But let's read through it and see. I've heard all sorts of good things about this through the grapevine, through informally, including one person who got a galley of it who liked it a lot and whose opinion I very much respect. But let's see here. Over the course of a glamorous party, 2 married couples will come to question everything they thought they knew about each other, culminating in an explosive act of violence. Ben, who hails from old money, and Martin, who grew up poor but is slowly carving out a successful career as an art critic, have been inseparable since childhood. Ben's wife, Serena, likes to jokingly refer to Martin as Ben's dutiful little shadow. Lucy is a devoted wife to Martin, even as she knows she'll always come second to his sacred friendship. And when Ben throws himself a lavish 40th birthday party in his palatial new country home, Martin and Lucy attend, mixing with the upper echelons of London society. But why, a few weeks later, is Martin in a police station being interviewed about the events of that night? Why is Lucy being forced to answer questions about her husband and his past? What exactly happened at the party? Huh. Okay. This comes out in August. I admit that does sound intriguing, although I don't hold out much hope. Well, how is it put here? She knows she'll always come second to his sacred friendship. But I almost never, in a lifetime of reading fiction, reading the made-up stories, I've almost never seen male friendship done well. There's always something wrong, some kind of pathology involved. I don't understand why that is. Everybody has friends. And female friendship I've seen done perfectly well, many, many times, over the course of novels written over many centuries, including the one 1,000 years ago. But male friendship, there's always a power play, there's always something simplistic or stupid. That bit about his little shadow already tells me that I probably won't be reading about a really close male friendship. Even a problematically close male friendship. I don't know. Maybe I'll be wrong. I hope I'll be wrong. So the sell sheet here. Tell me if this has ever happened to you. You crack open a book on a lazy Saturday afternoon, expecting to read a few chapters before getting on with your day. The next thing you know, it's nearly midnight, and you haven't looked up or eaten anything in hours because you've been totally wrapped up in the drama. Excuse me. And intrigue playing out on the page. consider yourself warned, because that's exactly what happened to me when I read Elizabeth Day's The Party. Okay, so that publicist, despite being in the business, doesn't read much. Well, I'm glad this book is opening up new vistas. uh, I am I am intrigued, and that doesn't usually happen with a made up story. So I will. I've already been told that I should pay attention to this book, but I think, given on the strength of what I just read, I would probably pay attention to it anyway. Then anyway, we'll go on to the last thing here. Let's see. Have. Oh, okay. This is a murder mystery. It's Cold Hearted River by Keith McCaffrey. It is a Sean Stranahan mystery, and I got an advance copy, and I think I summarily ignored it, which is wrong, because murder mysteries have their place. I've been absolutely living on them in the last few days, so I shouldn't take that for granted, because that takes talent to do. I've tried. I've tried writing murder mysteries, and something about the mathematical nature of the plot defeats me every time. I may try again for NaNoWriMo, but we'll talk about NaNoWriMo in another video. Let's see here. So what have we got? In his sixth Sean Stranahan mystery. So once again, I'm going to treat, like I mentioned the other day, I'm going to treat this as the burden being entirely on the author, to make it feel like it's the first Sean Stranahan mystery. If I read the first 25 pages and feel like it's the sixth book in a series of which I have not read the first 5 books, well, it's on Keith McCaffrey one way or another. But anyway, let me finish reading here. Once again crafts his signature blend of vivid natural imagery, gripping plotting, grisly violence, and wry humor. Sounds like 2 of my marriages to death. That has earned him a rabidly devoted fan base, as well as great critical acclaim. He won the coveted Spur Award for Crazy Mountain Kiss. His last novel, Buffalo Jump Blues, was a must-read pick by Oprah magazine. The poignant preface to Cold Hearted River recalls conversations the author had with Ernest Hemingway's son, Patrick and Jack, the latter a fishing friend who remembered his father's despair when a steamer trunk containing all his fly fishing gear was stolen or lost from the Railway Express in 1940. This story, told on the bank of a river, is at the heart of McCaffrey's new novel. In Cold Hearted River, Sheriff Martha Ettinger reunites once again lover and sometime private detective Sean Stranahan. She reunites with him now that he's once again her lover. That's good. What were they doing before they were doing it by post? That's all right. It's just the pub sheet. They want to investigate the death of a woman who was stranded in a spring snowstorm. A fly wallet is found in a saddle pannier on the woman's horse, the leather engraved with the initials E.H. Only a few days before, Patrick Willoughby, president of the Madison River Liars and Fly Tires Club, was approached by a man selling fishing gear he claimed once belonged to Ernest Hemingway. A coincidence? Sean doesn't think so, and soon finds himself on the trail of the missing trunk rumored to contain not only the writer's valuable fly fishing gear, but perhaps even priceless samples of his unpublished work. Okay, so a literary bent to this latest Sean Stranahan mystery. Okay, so this comes out in July, early July. Interesting. Okay, so that's it then. Split down the middle between made-up stories and real books. So we've got Cold Hearted River. We've got The Party, Elizabeth Day's debut novel. We have The Naughty 90s. And we have a gigantic history of Istanbul in all 3 of its incarnations throughout history by a fantastic writer. So there you go. That is our mail haul for right now. And I will see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.